First of all, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone and good afternoon. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you
Good.
guys?
How are you guys?
I'm good.
Okay, so today our group is going to present idioms from the short story The Cob and the Anthem, written by O. Henry. So, a little bit introduction. This this group, our group got to present idioms in a short story. So we choose this exact this exact short story titled "The Cob and the Anthem" by O. Henry. So honestly, after we discuss it, this story may look kind of simple at first, but when we looked deeper into it, we found that O. Henry uses idioms to help shape the humor, the irony, and the whole feeling of the story. Before we get into the details, I just want to share that idioms are actually an important part of English, especially in literature, because they don't mean exact what the words say. They add color and personality to writing. So today we are focusing on how idioms work inside this story. And before that, we would like to introduce ourselves. This is Muhammad Hanif Asyari speaking.
Uh,
And I'm Hana Citra Putri Santosa.
my name is Amanda Telia Salsabila.
My name is Nail Bagusardana.
Good job, guys. So those are our members, and Niall even in the hospital right now. So good job, everyone. So next slide about what is idioms is gonna be presented by my friend. The time is yours.
So the first is, what is idiom? An idiom is a well-known phrase or expression where the meaning isn't taken literally. The words say one thing, but the real meaning is something different and understood through common usage. Idioms help writers make their language richer and more natural. They can show a character's background, emotion, or culture without long explanation. Idioms also make stories feel more realistic because people use them in everyday speech. Next, please.
Okay.
Okay, the next one we have the examples and meanings of idiom that we might hear in everyday life. The first one is a blessing in disguise. It means something that seems bad or unlucky at first, but ends up bringing something good. Second one is break the ice. It means to do or say something that makes people feel more comfortable in a social situation. The third one is bite the bullet. It means to face a difficult situation with acceptance. Fourth one is a dime a dozen. It means something that is very common and easy to find. And last example we got is hit the nail on the head. It means to say something that is perfectly accurate. Okay, next please. Okay, so just to give a little context for you guys who haven't read the story, The Cop Anthem by O. Henry, we're gonna give you the summary of the story. So the story is about a homeless man named Soapy in New York who is trying to find a safe place before winter arrives. And the simplest way for him to get shelter is by getting locked up because he has no money and nowhere to go to get food and a warm bed. And by that, he tries many different ways to get arrested, but nothing works for him. After many failed attempts, he listens to an anthem from a church and finally decides to change his ways and turn his life around. But exactly when he decides to make a change, the cops suddenly arrest him for loitering, sending him to the jail that he was trying to reach earlier but no longer wants. Okay, next please. Now we have some of the idioms that we found in the story, The Cop and the Anthem by O. Henry.
The first idiom is pull himself out of the mire, meaning get out of a bad or dirty situation, improve oneself. So we can find these idioms in paragraph 34, near the ending inside the church reflection part. When Soapy hears the church music and suddenly feels ashamed of his life, he realizes how badly he has fallen. He is homeless, dishonest, and hopeless. At this moment, he decides to change his life, find a job, and live honestly. The idiom shows his desire to rise up from his miserable life. Next, please. The second is beat the dust from his clothes, meaning recover or clean yourself up after being thrown down or defeated. We can find this idiom in paragraph 70. In the exact line, he arose, joint by joint, as a carpenter's rule opens, and beat dust from his clothes. When Soapy ate in a cheap restaurant and told the waiter to call the police so he could be arrested and sent to jail. Instead, the waiters threw him out violently. After hitting the ground, he cleans the dust off his clothes. It shows humiliation, failure, and loss of dignity.
Okay, so the third idiom that we found is Jack Frost's card. It's a poetic idiom for a sign that cold weather or winter is coming. We find this idiom in the description of Soapy sitting in the park as winter approaches. When the story says that Soapy notices Jack Frost's card, it means that he begins to see the first signs of cold weather or winter itself. In this scene, the falling leaf and the chill in the air act as a signal that winter is coming. O. Henry uses this personification to make the cold feel like a person who has stopped by and left a calling card. It shows how Soapy reads these small changes as reminders that he must prepare for the harsh season ahead. Okay, next. The fourth idiom that we found is the homing instinct. That is a figurative phrase for the natural urge or instinct to return home. In this story, the homing instinct explains how a character ends up back in a familiar spot almost automatically. This idiom appears when Soapy begins drifting back toward Madison Square after all his attempts to get arrested fail. O. Henry uses the phrase to show that the character isn't making a deliberate choice, but is just following an instinct. The line also feels a bit ironic because it compares him to an animal returning to its shelter. This shows that he isn't really choosing where to go and that he holds on to the only place that feels familiar to him. Next.
Okay, so lastly, the idiom I'm about to explain is fall into their clutches. This idiom basically means being caught or being trapped by someone who has power over you. In this story, Soapy uses it to describe getting arrested by the police. He does not literally mean falling, and there are no actual clutches, but the idiom helps show how he feels about the police, like they are something he wants on purpose during winter, because being arrested means safety and food. The idiom carries a little bit of humor and sarcasm, which matches Sophie's personality. He talks about jail like it's a warm hotel, but still describes the police as if they are some kind of claws or hands that will grab him. This contrast makes his situation funny but also sad. And when explaining this idiom, I want to highlight that idioms in O. Henry's writing help the reader feels the character's attitude instead of only describing the situation plainly. Here, the idiom also shows the irony of the story. Most people try to avoid falling into the clutches of the police, but Soapy is actively trying to make that happen. And yes, this idiom makes the irony stranger and easier to feel when we read it. So it's just kind of beautiful in a very strange way, guys. And that's all of the idioms in the story, though. But next, I will be explaining why does O. Henry used these idioms. So basically, O. Henry uses these idioms in the story because idioms make the language more expressive and more connected to everyday speech. His stories always have a light, witty tone, even when they talk about sad or serious things, because our groups also already discussed about it, about his stories, and that's so a work of art truly. So, these idioms help create the tone. They add personality to the narrator and to Soapy as a character instead of sounding formal or distant, because we often read like in prose class and in intro to literature, English literature back then in our freshman year, there was that course. But and almost all of these stories uses like a straightforward words, like so raw, so pure, but these stories uses a lot of idioms, which is so beautiful and so well thought out. We love it so much when we discuss it. And then um idioms in this story also help show the setting, because you know, there are streets and so we meet real people, not just to literature. That's how this idiom works. And by choosing idioms related to trouble, fate, change, and getting caught, like the previous one we have already explained, O. Henry reflects the chaotic life of someone like Soapy, who survives by drifting and improvising, sorry. And another reason is the rhythm. O. Henry's writing has a very clear rhythm, almost like storytelling spoken aloud. So idioms act like small shortcuts. They let him say something big using just few words, like fall into their clutches, tells us what Sophie thinks, how he feels, and what he wants, all in one simple expressions. So basically, that's it. That is the point of idioms. So um, idioms also make his style quick, sharp, and memorable. And lastly, I want to say that idioms also support the theme of irony, and the whole story is just built on irony, ironic twist, Soapy wants to go to jail but keeps failing. When he finally decides to change his life, that is the moment he is arrested. So idioms also helps emphasize this irony because many idioms already carry double meanings or playful tones. That's it. That's the point. And to conclude our whole presentation, but there is still Nail with his quiz later, but this part is the conclusion. So we already discussed a lot, guys, and we can see that idioms in the cop and the anthem play a very important role in shaping the story. The idioms we found, such as fall into their clutches, put himself out of the mire, Jack Frost's card, the homing instance, and beat the dust from his clothes, all help us understand the tone, the setting, and Sophie's personality. Each idiom adds extra meaning that plain words cannot show. They help us feel the cold winter. Okay, that is a whole new idiom or something. Understand Sophie's struggles and see his hope for change, and most importantly, experience the humor and irony that O. Henry is famous for. Without these idioms, the story would still make sense, but it would lose a lot of its color and emotional impact. The idioms help us picture Sophie's life more clearly and bring out the contrast between his actions, his environment, and his final moment of inspiration. So overall, idioms in the story make it richer, more expressive, and more memorable. They connect the readers to the characters and emphasize the twist ending where Sophie decides to change his life right before he is finally arrested. Okay, that is the story, guys. Okay, that's all of my part, and now I give the time to Nail. Nail, the screen is yours.
Okay, this time I need you guys to answer it. You can write it or just remember it, the answer. Let's move to number one. Next. Okay, number one. What does break the ice mean? A. Break something cold. B. Start a conversation. C. Make some angry. And D. Leave early. I give you 10 seconds to uh, answer it. Time. Okay, done. Next question. Number two. What does hit the books means? A. Throw books. B. Read a novel. C. Start. Or B. Buy new books. 10 minutes. Time up. Finish. So we move to the next question. Number three. C. Spilled the beans. A. Made a mess. Or B. Reveal a secret. C. Cook a dinner. Or D. Got it into trouble. 10 seconds. Begin. Time's up. Next question. Next. Next. Okay. Number four. I'm feeling under the weather. A, I am sick, or B, it's raining, C, I'm excited, or D, I'm cold. 10 minutes begin.
Do you mean 10 seconds?
Okay, time is up. Next question. Okay, number 5, break the leg. Don't think, B, get well soon, C, good luck, or D, good night. 10 seconds begin. Time's up. So we go to next question. Is that multiple choice, and we move to essay question. I need you guys to menebak jawabannya. Ya. Saya kasih waktu 20 detik. Dimulai dari sekarang.
Okay, guys, so please guess the answer, guess the image about.
Okay.
Time is up. Move to next question. Number 7. 20 second begin.
Guys, I'm sorry, we only have 8 minutes left, so please be faster.
Okay. We move to next question. Nah, 20 second begin. Okay, enough. Move. Next question. Okay. 20 second begin. Ini clue-nya adjektif ya. Time is up. Last question. Nah, 30 second begin. Alright, that's enough. So we move to answer that all quiz time. Sebenarnya kalau presentasinya online nih, saya bakal ngasih hadiah ke kalian. Tapi berhubung ini online, ya sudahlah. Oke, nomor 1. Jawabannya adalah B. Start a conservation. Selamat kepada yang betul. Number 2. C. Study hard. Number 3. Reveal a secret. Number 4. A. MC. C. Number 5. C. Good luck. Okay. Number 6. Okay. Hit at the sack. Number 7. Cold feet. Number 8. Break as a sun. Number 9. Fast as a bullet. And the last one. Alright, big bird. So that's for me. Thank you very much.
Okay, everyone, thank you very much for your presentation, for our own group presentation, and everyone who is watching our video on YouTube maybe right now. So basically, there is our explanation about idioms in the cop and the anthem. So overall, we can see that even though the story is simple, the idioms actually help us understand the mood, the irony, and the way O. Henry wants us to see Soapy. Each idiom adds a little extra meaning. So, thank you for listening, and we hope our explanation helps you understand the story better. Don't forget to read it because it is a really, really great story. So if there are any questions or anything you want to ask or you want to talk to us about our presentation today, please just contact us somewhere. So we will be happy to answer. So thank you very much everyone. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh.
wabarakatuh. Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Thank you guys.
guys.
Thank you Hannah, thank you Nail, thank you Amanda, thank you myself.
Thank you, everyone.